Hi guys, new video today. Happy holidays. First of all, I would like to start a new, series on this channel. I would like to talk about some very controversial topics in metal music in genre. And please like and subscribe, share this with your friends if you like the content. If you don't like, share anyway to have a good laugh because you don't agree with me. Please don't do that. Okay, so today, although I have my OPEF shirt, that is amazing, I will talk about some, as I said, controversial topic in between metal. It is, what is the biggest band? Who is better, Metallica or Megadeth? Well, I know at some point it becomes personal preference, but I really think that we can also chart some topics that are really cool for this discussion, because a lot of people seems to have this disagreement through the years, even Mustaine and Hetfiled. Okay, so first of all, I don't know if probably everyone that would watch this video know this, but Mustaine was from Metallica, and he got kicked out because of drug use. He recorded the first EP, No Life to Leather, and I think probably a lot of riffs in QMO. I will get to that later because we have a little topic around this. But he probably were expelled from the band because of the drug use, and this is pretty clear to everybody that all the members were drug addicts. I know, let's not judge them. It's a health issue, sorry. And we have a lot of discussions on this because he said that he would found Megadeth to overcome Metallica. And I couldn't say that he did, because I would like to go to some facts and some opinions of mine, but I would like to talk about some things with this introduction. So let's get into it. What's the better band? What makes the best metal songs? Not just metal songs, because both bands have some periods of time that they were focused a lot more on other stuff, more like hard rock, the usually called sellout. But one of the first things I would like to address in this video is the musicians in each band. Metallica has more of a solid base, because besides from Mustaine, Kirk Hammett has always been there, and I know that a lot of people don't like them, but if you see, he has really good solos. And although he uses wah-wah a lot, this is a really common joke, I think he made pretty good solos. And most of the riffs in Metallica are probably created by James Hetfield, which I don't know how people can talk bad things about Metallica, although I do, and this is weird, but Metallica is like probably the better band that people love to hate, because they change their sound. And anyway, the thing about the musicians, if you compare each one, you have a classical formation. In Metallica, besides Kirk, Lars has always been there, James has always been there, and the bassist, all of three were amazing. Jason, it's incredible. I thought of him first because I know that he's not the most well recognition, and that's crazy, because he recorded Black Album and Justice for All. I'm not talking about the other albums because I don't like them. But if you see the musical contribution of Jason on this, it's impossible not to say that he's a great musician. And Robert, I think by far he is the better of the three bass players, even Cliff Burton, because Rob knows how to play lots of different styles of music, and I think he's like putting backwards in Metallica because he does have his space to shine. You can, a lot of people say that James and Lars did that with Jason also, you can see you can hear the bass on the recordings, and that's, for me, that makes no sense. They're such a good players. I don't know. It's a thing about egos. I don't know. And in drumming of Metallica, a lot of people make jokes about how Lars is bad because he's not so innovative, and I don't know, but he writes a lot of the lyrics, so he has to be in that band. It wouldn't be the same thing without him. As if you compare to Megadeth were a lot of the times in the career, from my point of view, a band that's been hiring musicians, because it was always been Dave Mustaine, and he always tried to look for someone better. Chris Broderick, Kiko Loureiro, I forgot the name of the other guy that recorded only one album, sorry. Anyway, and he always had this background of firing people. That really shows something, that is his band and he controls everything. So in a layer that we want to talk about who has the best musicians, we could easily agree that Megadeth has better musicians. If you look to the classic phase that make the best albums, in my opinion, we have Nick Menza, passed away unfortunately. David Ellfeson, who has been the longest bass player of Megadeth. He has even some disputes with Mustaine because they have been the soul of the band. And Marty Friedman, who is by far, of all the two, both bands, the best guitar player. If you really listen to the solos, and especially his solo career, you see how talented musician he is, because he just not plays only metal, he plays another stuff. So if you would compare musicianship, and I'm not talking about making music, so we'll get to that later, I really think that Megadeth has an advantage. If you compare the best basses of each band, I think Robert probably plays more than Ellfeson, but Ellfeson makes better compositions in songs, something that shines more with the bass from Metallica, I really think. And I'm really comparing this even with Cliff Burton, because Cliff Burton was a musical god. Probably, I don't know what would happen if he hasn't passed away like he did, but I don't know. I really think that in the musician level, Megadeth really goes, yeah, they won. Sorry to say that. I love Cliff Burton, Robert, Jason. I'm really talking a lot about bass, oh my god. And drums I can't even compare, because Lars said that he doesn't want to evolve, so you can't compare. Songwriting, I think that would go to Metallica, and voice also to Metallica, because Mustaine don't know how to sing. Sorry, love Megadeth, but let's face it, yes, like that. Anyway, another topic, it would be the albums. And by far we can say that Metallica has the albums that made most impact in the scene. And not only in the scene, but in the world in general. Black Album is probably one of the highest selling albums of all time. And if you have a metal album that sells like this much, you can argue with that. Because he made people that don't like metal liking metal. And that's another interesting point about this, because a lot of people say that Metallica stopped being a metal band to become like a pop band dressed as a metal band, or vice versa, because they sold out. Not saying that any other thrash metal band sold out, because if you really looked at those, you'll probably see that Megadeth did the same, but people judge Metallica more of that because they got famous, and I really don't know about that, because Black Album, it's amazing. How can someone not like the Black Album? Enter Sad and Sad But True, Holier Than Now. I just realized that I could say all the songs in order. It's something so amazing, but not to take focus of Megadeth's albums that are also amazing. The phase if you look about the metal phase, because yeah, I'm saying that Metallica does not have a metal phase, it even though it has a hard rock phase, because let's face it, it's not even heavy. You have a lot of things. Mama Said it's a country song from Road. But if you look at the bigger picture, the best albums of Metallica, if they confront Megadeth, I think Metallica would win. Not because I'm not trying to use this as a personal option, because you know, Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets, although I could say Rust in Peace, So Far So Good So What, the Metallica albums has a bigger impact. They have. Even if you don't prefer, I'm talking general, Metallica is more well known, even outside metal music. And that's where we go to the sellouts that I made sure. I really mentioned a few things about this on this topic, but that's the thing. I heard Lars says in an interview that if they continue to make the same thing, they would be called sellouts, because you are always giving the same things in the same album. And I really can't say that Metallica made the same album twice. If you compare Kill 'Em All, Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets, and Justice for All, they are different. Black Album, you have a huge difference. Being from production, being from heaviness, being from the speed of the songs, it's different. It's more like traditional metal with pop influence. I know I said it again. But at this point, they are all amazing. I think the really problem is with Load, Reload, Hate and Anger, because I tend to say that these albums probably are not bad. Although I said I hate it, but you have to listen not thinking about them as being from Metallica, because this is my theory. If these albums came out by some unknown band, they would probably crush. Crush, I mean in a good way. They would probably be really, really great albums, but since they come from Metallica, people tend to compare with their older stuff, so people say that's garbage. Really think about that in case you haven't given a thought about this. So the sellout about Megadeth, well, it's something a little bit weird, because I think about cryptic readings of Megadeth, they start to change the sound, and at risk it became something like I would say an industrial sound. I know this is weird, doesn't combine, although I can listen and have fun, because I listened last week to make this video all the albums of Megadeth. They tend to be called sellouts again with Super Collider from 2013. They sell out, as people would say, but they haven't made so much impact. I don't know, it's Mustaine voice, the way of the songs, just not because they're trash. I tend always to say that because Megadeth probably left being trash at Rust in Peace. They became something of their own, because you have different influences in there. As we say, 1990 album, Risk have industrial rock influence. Metallica stood more on that. They were thrash, and they were heavy, and they become like a hard pop band. So it's the point of the sellouts. You can argue between those, because both bands did that. The difference is that one made a huge impact, because they sold really a lot more things. And by that, I would go to another topic that, for me, it's not that relevant when it comes to what I'm listening, but I know that people use that. Remember, which band is more famous? Of course it's Metallica. You know that people that don't like metal know Metallica or know Nothing Else Matters, which is not a metal song, but they know them. Megadeth, it's something more like, it has that thrashy vibe. The people that likes metal knows Megadeth. It's even with Kiko now in Brazil. People, unfortunately, heavy metal is not a well recognizable thing in Brazil. But you can argue that Metallica had more impact, and probably made some people that don't like metal come to metal. And that's really something. It's harder for you to get to Megadeth before Metallica. That's the truth. I don't know if we all can argue with that. But the main point of this video in this, I mean, I think I talked really fast. The huge amount of things that I brought here is that the whole discussion, which is the better band, Metallica or Megadeth? And for me personally, I would say Megadeth, because if you look at a bigger picture, they are both born as a metal band. And Megadeth stood there. Although they all flourished with different genres, Megadeth stuck more to that sound. You know, not saying that Metallica is bad, not saying that it shouldn't be recognized as one of the biggest bands of all time, but I really think that in the point, as the people do that comparison, really, I think Megadeth should have more attention, because Mustaine is a guitar hero. You couldn't argue with that, and he continues to release relevant music through the years. If you look at, like, not The World Needs a Hero or The System Has Failed, because that albums I really not that much fond of, but United Abominations, Endgame, even 13, these are great albums, and they're from the mid-2000s forward. And Metallica stood there on Saint Anger, and probably this, I was really a child back then, and internet was not so popular, but I see that the backlash of Saint Anger could be even big, actually more bigger than with Load and Reload. And by saying so, even in 2008 or 2007, Death Magnet came out, and sorry, people really thought, I remember back in the day I would listen to that and yeah, they were back in the roots. That's the formula. But it took so long. It's like Tool. I love the band Tool. They became so famous because of the great musicianship and songs that they made, but they've been 13 years without releasing an album. That when he came out, I didn't thought much of it. This is a topic for another video. Okay, so to sum up all the musicianships, the songs, the band, the albums, their career. I'm not saying about something of polemics with Napster and Lars, because I really don't think this affect music. That was just his opinion because he were losing money. But in a bigger picture, I really think that Megadeth is a better metal band than Metallica. And again, not put them in the corner. If you listen to the thrash albums, into the Black Album, and even Load and Reload, you can appreciate for what they are. But if you look them as a Metallica album, as I did, you would probably not like it. So, well respect to giants of Metallica, and I really think that Megadeth should have more appreciation. You know? Because even with Mustaine's voice, because he doesn't have like the range of the metal. For me, metal has always been, yeah, the vocals, the hero, Bruce Dickinson, Rob Halford, Dio, and he does not have a good voice. Sorry, Mustaine, but I love you, but that's the truth. But he plays fast, and that fits with the songs. His voice, and I can't say anything, because Megadeth is probably one of my favorite bands of all time. And basically summing up everything that I would have to say about this topic, that's it. I really prefer Megadeth. So, in case you disagree or you want to have a chat, please comment below and let's talk about it like civilized people. Always respect the opinion of others. Thank you again. Please leave like, subscribe. Happy holidays. See you next time.